Good evening, hopefully you've had a good day's trading. Mine was a mixed day, a few wins, a few losses, a break-even day really. I'm going to just go over my trade, recap my trading for today, and then hopefully have a quick look and see where we might lead over the next day or two. Okay, so it's the 14th of August 2023, Monday, and we're after market right now, and on my screen is the MES 1 hour chart. So this morning we can see we had there wasn't any news this morning, but over the Sunday pre-market and the post and the pre-market this morning, we pushed down back into this 44.69 level and into this trend line. If I just zoom out, so we've got this little channel formed on the hourly. So the blue lines connect here, and we pushed down into this channel and we rejected it quite conclusively, pushed all the way up to 4,500, rejected that. We bounced off the channel, we rejected 4,500, came back down to the channel again. I'm going to get a bit closer, and look at that, right on the channel and right on the level we discussed this morning, and it bounced right off of that. You got 1 or 2 chances to get into this trade if you took it, and pushed right back up to the 4,500 level again. So today there should have only been 2 trades really. Should have been the bounce off of this level and the rejection of this level, and I didn't take either. Well, I took the top level, I took this rejection 4,500, and I'll go into that in a second, but I was totally oblivious to that, and something I didn't even see in the pre-market. I was so excited about seeing this channel forming and expecting to see us move back up to this top end, back down to this top end, and then for a breakdown or a break up. I missed the real obvious thing, that in the hourly we were setting up a change of trend, and had I said this out loud and I had thought about it before I started trading, before the open, then I would have thought about today a little bit differently. I'm in the Discord. I'll bring up my trade reviews here. This is at 10 minutes before the market opened. I put in this play, and I mentioned it in the video as well. A new short, 4,500, lower risk, higher probability rejection area, and then the next one, 44.69, and it's a high risk bounce, and we were quite close to it when I put this into the Discord, and I discussed it in the video as well. And so let's have a look and just compare. So if you compare 4,500, look at that, this is this level here, and 44.69, 44.69.50 I had, and it's that level there we've been watching. And so let's have a quick look in the 5-minute chart, and I'll see how obvious these levels were. So going down into the 5-minute chart, so this is the bottom end of the trend line we just saw in the hourly. So we came down in the pre-market, so we get my pen back. So in the pre-market we touched, or the post-market if it's after Saturday, we came up, we touched 4,500, we pushed right back down, and then we came into this zone here, and then we hovered around this area for a bit, and then we touched it again. For some reason my pen's not working, it's really annoying. I've got another pen I can use. Give me 2 seconds, sorry about this. Right, so go into draw mode. Here we go, so that's good. So you can see we came in, so we came down, we touched 44.69, rejected it, came down, tested it again, rejected it. So there's a lovely double bottom here, and then we came back down for a treble bottom right on 44.69 again, and we saw this big push up. And I even said in the Discord chat, I said it's coming into this area 44, 69, which is the bottom of this area here. Bottom of the candle's over here as well, and it's also the bottom of the trend line as well. So lots of things, and it was a big hourly double bottom, this big double bottom here as well. So lots of things we liked about it, but the only thing I didn't like was the fact it was so close to the open, and I don't like taking trades so close to the open. I normally would give it a quarter of an hour, maybe half an hour, but even though I was around this area here, and I was still trying to, my bias was still to short the market, and so I took a short as we came into this zone. I took a short at this level as well, and each one stopped out, and so I eventually gave up with the shorts. I think I might have took a very quick short here, got in, got out at break even, so nothing ventured, nothing gained, and then eventually I took the short at this level, and that worked out okay. I come out, took a couple of contracts off, and I came back out for the stop. I was too hesitant. I was waiting for it to come back down to this level and all back down to here, and then so I took another short when we came back up here. It's on that second candle, and again I took one off, and I saw it break the low of that, and I was expecting it to come back down to that level again, 44.85, and so I took a break even stop out there. So I hadn't quite made up for taking the loss here and taking the loss here, and then on the last attempt I got back in again up here, and I took a little bit more off, and this time I did get out there with half of my size, and then the rest I got out as we broke over this area of consolidation, and I did then reverse my trade. It was just here, so we were coming in, it was a break and retest, so I reversed my trade. I was in there, and I took the rest up to about, I think I got out on the break of the high here, and I was all out. I should have held a runner, but I didn't, so I kind of ended the day break even. I did have one more win which I not quite mentioned, and that was a very quick scalp this morning, and that position was on the open. And I know I said I don't take trades in the open, but I was trying to get a rejection. I wanted to get in early. I anticipated a breakdown of this area for a low move, so I got in on, where was it? It was this candle here. So I saw this topping tail, then I saw another topping tail, and I got in as it broke the candle, which would have been, it was the break of that candle there. So it would have been just there. I got in. It was a quick scalp. I got out at the level which I should have reversed my position, and that's it. That's a very small winning trade, and I just wanted to get that in just to set me up for the rest of the day. And that's about it really. That's my day. It wasn't that eventful. It was a bit of I found it quite a tough day. All my levels were rejected. All my rejection levels, it just broke through. And let's go and look on the daily. If we look at the daily, we've had 4 days in a row red. So we were due a bit of a pullback back up to this 8 moving average, and we didn't quite get to the 8 moving average, but we're there. But one thing to note is this cross of the 8 over the 20. So last time we had a cross over the 20, it was back in March 2023 when the 8 crossed up over the 20, and it stayed above the 8, never came below the 20, came close a few times, but from March all the way through to August last week, in fact, yeah, until, was it Wednesday, I think that was, the 8's been above the 20 moving average. The last time we saw it cross down through the 20 moving average was back in February, and it lasted, so February through to March, so it lasted there for over a month. Looking at the next crossover, this was back in December, and it lasted about a month as well. Yeah, about a month. And then the last time we saw it cross was here, August 2022, and it lasted August, September, October, so over 2 months. So we had a 2-month cross there. And so there is a point to this, and we crossed also at that point June 22, and we recrossed again July 20. So that lasted a month. And to be fair, we've got this area here where it went sideways. We crossed up through it and crossed down through it, but that's a bit different to what we're seeing on the daily. So the point, we are actually seeing a downtrend. But the point being is, the last time we crossed it, we were in that trend for at least a month, maybe 2 months. So maybe we may have a downward trend for the next month. And I'm still looking at these levels which I'm watching on the daily, which would be 440 area. So this area is kind of an area which I've got my eye on, and we've got this area below. So we've got 4400 through to 4420, and then we've got this area as well, which is 4475 and 4375. So these are potential areas to watch out for over the next month or two if we do continue this downtrend in the daily. And then before I go, let's have a quick look at the weekly. And yeah, all we're seeing is a little tiny inside week so far. We are moving averages are quite spaced away from each other. You can see we are relatively far from the 8, the 20, the 50 and the 200, and as you can see, the market always gravitates back to these moving averages. So we've recently come back to the 8 moving average, and then we need to get back down to the 20 moving average, which coincides with that level I just went over a few seconds ago. Was that 40, hang on, that level is 43.80, and then if we break through that level, then we've got, oh look at that, we'll be down close to the 50. The 50 would have joined us around 4200. So that's potentially what we could see over the next month or two. Whether we get there, whether we're just seeing a bit of a pullback on the weekly before we make another high, another move up. So if we were to break through the highs, we've hit that pivot here. That's a area we was watching, and we touched that and rejected it. And you can see for the last time we touched that area, it was a big rejection down, and we've come up, we've touched that area, and maybe we'll get another big rejection down. But then we'll be watching this pivot here, followed by this area up here as well. And that pivot would be 4700 to 4760 area. So they're the two areas we could be targeting next if this is just a pullback. And then we've got all-time highs going up at 49, what's that, 49.28. So I think the next few months will be quite interesting. Don't forget, August is a holiday month, so we are seeing less volume in the market. I'm just looking now. This is the weekly. Let's go back to the daily. How did the volume go today? Yeah, below average volume today. So we had a green day. It's interesting to note. So we had a green day, bigger day than we had on Friday, but we had reduced volume as well. So the volume's declining. So it could show weakness. So next day will tell us where we are on the volume price analysis side of things. And then comparing today to any other equal days, we had, in fact we can compare today with the last green day we had, and we touched the 20 moving average and rejected it straight off. So possibly we touched the 8 and might reject that tomorrow. And I think that's it really. I'm going to have a quick look at oil. So the pre-market going sideways, not giving away which direction it wants to go. So let's have a quick look at NASDAQ. Finished positive. Look at that. We've got a change of trend, which I failed to see this morning. I was so biased on the short trade. So we put in a higher high, higher low, higher high, possibly a higher low there, and a higher high. We'll find out where it's heading. So the next target, if we're now in an uptrend, we could have 15.3, as a possible area. Let's just put in that area there, 15.3, and then we've got this potential area here at 15.4 as well. So areas to keep an eye on the Nasdaq. This is the hourly. We could potentially get there tomorrow. We've got this decline in 200 moving average as well. So by the time that comes down, it could be meeting up with this potential level. The reason I chose this level is because we've got this area of confluence just here. So the tops and bottoms of candles touching. We attempted to retest it, didn't quite get there, and we had a bottom of a candle there, bottom of a candle there, and a bottom of a candle there. So we haven't got much volume in this area. Most of the volume is where we were today, just here. But these are areas of confluence, so areas to keep an eye on, and that's where we could be potentially heading for next if we continue this hourly uptrend, which we can see putting in. And then lastly, let's look at oil. This is the micro oils futures, and today didn't really go, more of a sideways day. We tried to break down through this 200 moving average, and the market responded with a big bounce, and then over two hours, and we got back up into this. So you can see that moving averages now are starting to narrow together. So it looks like we're waiting for something to happen. So oil's in a nice daily uptrend at the moment. So maybe we are starting to see a bit of a change of trend. So we've put in a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, lower high ish, maybe here, a lower low. Possibly we might just see some sideways movement. It's a bit undecided what's going on, but the thing we need to do is either break down below 82, or we use that as a bounce and push up. If we get over 83, we're probably pushing back up towards 83.71 or 85 area. So that's probably what we're looking at over the next few days. So keep an eye on oil, and that's it really. SPY, where did we end today? Again, like ES, is putting in this nice potential breakout. Something to watch for tomorrow. So this area here for a potential break. You could take the break and retest long, and we could be targeting 449.75. That's our next logical area up, which is the tops of these candles here. You could argue a little bit below 449.50, where the candles converge. And then we've got this area, small area of supply as well, and we've got this decline in 200 moving average coming into the 450. So 450 is going to be an area to watch for a rejection if we don't reject sooner. Okay, I think that's it. So a positive day in the market today, and it was a neutral day for my trading, and hopefully tomorrow will be a better day. Okay, have a good evening. Good night.